You're watching Satluj TV News. I'm Angus Scott in London. It was reported overnight that the Indian consulate in San Francisco had been attacked by arsonists on the 2nd of July. However, many media outlets today are blaming pro-Khalistan campaigners for the attack, although as yet there being no evidence to point as such. Speculation has exploded across social media from Indian communities globally about the attack, with Hindus and pro-Indian government activists taking at face value media reports that it was caused by pro-Khalistan campaigners. However, many other communities have questioned the narrative, pointing to the fact that, at least at this early stage, there is no evidence to support this. Accusations are now commonplace amongst the Sikh community in the US that the attack was, in fact, a false flag operation, deliberately started by the consulate itself to allow blame to fall on the Sikh community. Whatever the truth of the matter, it highlights a growing battle unfolding between the Indian government and several minority communities to control the narrative in the media. The well-publicised IT cells operated by the ruling BJP have often been accused of actively and aggressively quelling any criticism of the government across all media and spreading pro-Hindu propaganda as undisputed fact. Worse still, the government has now been openly accused by several organisations of conducting clandestine physical operations through the NIA in overseas territories like Canada, the US and the UK particularly. 2 weeks ago, UK campaigner Avtar Singh Kandar died in suspicious circumstances in a Birmingham city hospital. He had been accused by Hindu radicals of removing the Indian flag from the High Commission in London during protests in March. In fact, this was not the case, but misinformation had been deliberately spread across social media that he was the individual behind the flag removal. Upon his death, the British Sikh community united in demanding a formal investigation into Kandar's death, with veiled accusations that it had been the result of NIA or Indian Intelligence Service operations. In effect, a state-sanctioned assassination. This preceded the killing of Canadian campaigner Hardeep Singh Nijjar in British Columbia last week, where again accusations are now rife that it was the result of a deliberate India government assassination. In recent months, anger on both sides of the argument has reached a crescendo. With the recent clampdown in the Punjab and the detaining of Amritpal Singh, the Khalistan referendum campaign now gaining momentum across the Sikh diaspora, and of course various high-profile killings of Sikh campaigners, the Indian government finds itself stoking fires of anger in a community it appears, at least on the face of it, to be aggressively and deliberately targeting. If it is indeed a policy campaign by the BJP government, then it has only succeeded in uniting the global Sikh community and swelled the ranks of the pro-Khalistan movement, precisely the outcome Narendra Modi's government is seeking to avoid. It has also attracted the criticism of many organisations around the world, including ex-US President Obama, who recently sent a warning to the Indian Prime Minister. If Narendra Modi is genuine in his desire to unite India's diverse communities as he promotes the nation on the world stage, it remains unfortunate that he has not directly addressed and acted upon such accusations. It's clear the Indian Prime Minister needs to rein in the aggressive activities of various radical Hindu groups, stoking anger and tension across social media, and reassure Indians that state entities had nothing to do with the controversial deaths of Sikh campaigners in recent months. Sadly, his notable silence on the matter is only further fueling damaging speculation. Whilst Hindu radicals continue to stoke the fires and in turn the Khalistan movement gathers momentum, Indian politics is growing increasingly divisive, a tragedy for a nation that prides itself on being the world's largest democracy. Hopes are that Narendra Modi can show true leadership by uniting instead of dividing the country's people. If India is to be welcomed to the global top table in the future, being a healthy and admired democracy will be a fundamental entry requirement. You've been watching Satluj TV News, and you can find more stories in detail on our channel, that's Satnet News, so it's worth clicking on that subscribe button to make sure you get to see stories as they're broadcast. And don't forget, if you have any comments or opinions on any of our news stories, you can comment below or indeed drop us a direct message at message@satlujtv.com. We'd love to hear from you. In the meantime, thanks for watching. For Satluj TV News, I'm Angus Scott in London.